So in today's lesson, we're going to give you 3 proven singing tips to help you sing better from your diaphragm. All right? And the second tip involves an exercise, and the third tip is probably one of my all-time favorites. Okay? So the first tip, and it's something you need to be careful about, is, and let me back up a little bit here, is you'll often see online, you'll see teachers, and they're well-intended, but they tell you to breathe and create a ball with your stomach or balloon your stomach, and then you keep it there and you sing with that ball in your stomach. But that doesn't work. And if you do that, you can have a lot of problems. You never ever want to, while you're exhaling or singing, you do not want to push out in the center of your belly. The belly needs to be drawn inward. The belly needs to be relaxed so that it can draw inward as you're exhaling air while you're singing. So what you want to feel instead, think of it as 4 points where you feel a little more of the outward movement, and they're in the shape of a diamond. So you can't quite see this here, but the top one is right about your solar plexus here, below where the ribs start. Down below, you'll see I'll stand on my tiptoes, below your navel, down here nice and low. You always want on the inhale and the exhale some nice outward action and pressure there. And then you're going to find here, you'll find that you'll have 2 points on your side, so they're shaped like a diamond. You want these to be active so that the center of your belly is not active and it can be flexible enough to draw in while you're singing. Okay? Now, tip number 2, which has an exercise with it and really comes in 2 parts. So, in addition to this diamond, you're always going to feel a lot of downward, or you want to direct a lot of downward pressure and weight, muscle activity, in the floor of your pelvis. Okay? Now, let me take a step back as well. Often when we're learning how to add that kind of muscle action to our breathing, we have a problem with sometimes what we think we're doing correctly causes a lot of clamping and tension in our throat. Okay? So the first part of this exercise is that you have to learn how to silent breathe. Breathing without making any sound at all can only be done if your false vocal folds are completely open and retracted. So what you want to do is put your hands completely over your ears and then breathe in and out with your mouth in a way that you cannot hear any sound at all. Not the slightest bit of sound drawing inward and outward, and that can only be done when your false vocal folds are open. Okay, now you want to combine these 2 things into one silent exercise that you can do anytime during the day, standing, sitting, driving your car, laying down in bed. Okay, is you don't have to put your hands on your ears once you know how to do it, but you have to engage these muscles as if you're singing with good diaphragmatic support, the lower gut and these diamond muscles here. Keep your back and your posture good, and silent breathe while that's active, okay? And just breathe in and out. Inhale and exhale with these muscles active and silent breathe, okay? Because if you can do that and train yourself to do that, that's going to go a long way toward keeping your throat open even when you're very active with your muscles down below while you're singing with good air support, okay? And then tip number 3, I've covered in another video or 2 before, but it's really helped me, is I shifted my vocal training, a portion of it, sometimes all of it, to sitting in a position that would be called in yoga, in English, called the flat-footed squat. Okay? So if you look at this picture here, she's singing with her, or she's seated with her feet flat on the ground, her knees wide open, or open. The back naturally bends, you're bent at the waist naturally, but you still want to keep your back straight and let your head find kind of a natural, straightforward position, not too up or too down. Now, to take the pressure off your knees, because you want to stay in this position while you're training, you need to sit on something that keeps you in that position but takes all the pressure off your knees. So it can be a small box or an upside down pan. And as I've shown before, I use these 2 old yoga blocks, and they're the perfect height, seated like this. They're just a little bit shorter than the height of my head, and it keeps me in that position while I do my workout. And sometimes I do get up and walk around and do my exercises while I'm standing, but I have the option, okay? Sometimes I do 90 minutes straight seated like that. So why do we do that? How does it affect our diaphragmatic breathing? well, what happens, you'll just notice it right away. You can also do this just by bending at the waist sometimes while you're doing an exercise, a humming exercise or something. But you'll notice right away that your breathing is so much more connected, so much more well supported without having to do anything except sit that way. Okay, now you can still focus on it and add some concentration to it, some intention to it, to make sure that you're seated and you don't let your posture mess up. But when you train that way, you get to learn what it feels like to be well supported. And you do your exercise that way, and you're getting rid of old bad habits and replacing them with new, good, diaphragmatic supported breathing exercises or vocal exercises. Okay, so those are the 3 tips today, proven tips to help you sing better diaphragmatically from your diaphragm. Okay, good luck in your training. Leave any comments if you'd like, and have a great day.